Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents G.I. Joe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Recondo. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here we have on the top, warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. G.I. Joe. 4 and up, Recondo, and some nice classic styled artwork of Recondo there. Nice big blister showcasing the figure and his accessories. The classic Hasbro symbol, at least from the 80s. Then on the back we have G.I. Joe and with the red, white, and blue stripes. Awesome! Then we have the file card Recondo, and it's got just a little bit of info on him. And then here's the cross sale, the rest of the retro wave. Recondo, which is this figure, Scarlet, and Duke. Parents! GIJoe.com! Somewhere on here, I'm sure. Recycled print, small print, fine print, legalese, print symbols I'm not going to learn. And a barcode. Warning! Attention! Don't stick things in your French pie hole that don't belong there. Warning, attention, Octung. Don't stick things in any other language pie hole that don't belong there. And don't give it to babies. That, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers. How about with some of the smaller accessories? So we'll start out with those first. And here we have his sidearm, all molded in one color. Nice molded details to it. No paint apps. Here we have his kukri knife. And it's all molded in this color plastic, and then nice silver paint app for the blade. And this isn't anything new. We've seen this in the line before. I'm also pretty sure, I don't have Tiger Force Recondo, but he probably came with the same set of equipment. Except maybe the backpack might be different. I don't know. Then here's his primary weapon. It does have a port in the barrel for muzzle flash effects, and it's all molded in this color plastic, and then it's got some paint apps where he's got wraps on certain parts of the weapon, and the magazine is removable. Nice molded details there. Here we have his backpack. It's got, looks like a nice paint app right here for the bedroll or sleeping bag or whatever you want to call that. And then everything else molded in this color. It does have a nice texture to it, and so does the blanket. And then it does have nice molded details in it. A few more paint app hits would not have hurt this any, like maybe the cap of the canteen or some of these things he's got tucked in here, the buckles. But the retro line, I guess they're trying to go more like the original look, but I think that's carrying it a bit too far, in my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary. Here's the stand, and I've said it before on all the retro releases, any that come with these stands. These stands really remind me of the 25th anniversary 3 3/4 line. Just they blew it up in size to the 6-inch scale, right down to where the name would be emblazed on it, or tampoed, or whatever you want to call it. So it's got the G.I. Joe star on it. So that's a different piece. And then there I go, knocking him down. Last accessory is his hat, where it's pinned up on the side. Nice paint app here. So nice looking piece there. Let's take a look at the figure himself. And I have to say, I think they did a very good job on the head sculpt here and the inkjet printing, although it didn't get his mustache all the way. So that might actually be a paint app, and then the eyes and the eyebrows might be inkjet. I don't know. But yeah, they missed some of the mustache. It doesn't really stand out too bad, but you can see where they missed it on this side a little more than on this side. But they did miss spots on both sides of his mustache. Come on, that's a big mustache. How can you miss all that? Anyway, nice molded detail in here for the hair. It's got a nice tampo here. Nice silver paint app for the watch face. He's got some paint app here for the Joe Pro. And then I'm gonna guess this is some kind of tampoing for the stripes on the pants. And then this for the sheath for the knife. It's molded in the correct color plastic, as well as his harness here, shoulder harness. And this piece, the bottom of the shirt and the belt are one piece together, and they're a separate piece, and they do float. They're not glued down. So there is that. And then of course, I want to say maybe these are Duke's arms, perhaps, with the rolled up sleeves. I could be wrong. Duke might have his sleeves rolled down a little lower than that, but I want to say this is like Series 1 Duke arms, or at least these cuffs are. They look like they might be a separate piece, because this one has double hinged pinless elbows, and that Duke had pins in his elbows, I'm pretty sure. So not much deco going on the backside except for the pants, and I'm glad that they carried it all the way around, so that's really good. And there's very little doubt in my mind that all of this is exactly the same mold as the Tiger Force Recondo. I don't have that one. I passed on it. I was actually waiting for this version, the not necessarily retro, but the more classic inspired version. I'm glad I did. I really didn't care for the Tiger Force one. He looks okay, but when I think of Recondo, this is what I think of. So let's take a look at his articulation. And because of his mullet here, doesn't get very much to look up, but the neck is on a ball at the bottom and a dumbbell at the top. He can look down that far. He's got some chicken neck. He's got some waggle. He can do the full exorcist. Butterfly joint at the shoulder. Goes back that far, forward that far, so not a lot. 360 degrees of rotation there at the shoulder too, as well as he can raise his arm up approximately 90 degrees. Cut here at the upper bicep, full 360 degrees of rotation with it. Double hinged pinless elbow, gives you that much bend. At the wrist, 360 degrees of rotation on an up and down hinge on this side. And then this side is an up and down hinge as well. Hey, how you doing? So he's got the classic ab hinge in there, and then he also has a ball joint at the waist, and that gives him all kinds of little hula going on. He can lean left and right, and in conjunction, the ab hinge and the ball joint allow him to lean back that far and crunch forward that far. Also at the waist, he does have a 360-degree rotation. And this separate piece, that's when you have to watch out for this piece that floats and have to put it back into position. Pull down hinge at the hips. He can give you the full splits. He kicks forward that far and back about a half a step maybe. Cut at the upper thigh gives you another 360-degree rotation. Double hinged pinless knee, and it gives you that much bend. And at the lower shin, a boot cut for another 360-degree rotation. And then at the ankles, tilts down that far. Tilts up barely any at all, and forward-facing pin for rocker. Now, as far as storage goes, of course, the backpack, he's got a port in his back. The backpack just ports right in there. His knife, which he should have come with a machete, shouldn't he? Although this one is used for cutting through jungle stuff, wood stuff as well, I think. I don't know. I've never had one of these, so I don't know how well it works for that. But I think a machete would have been better, especially seeing as how he's Australian. Then the pistol goes right there in the holster. The rifle, there's no extra storage for it, so he just has to hold that. And of course, the stand, you know, it's got 2 posts on it, 2 ports in the bottom of the feet. And you just line those up and press down. And there we have that. And now the most important accessory, of course, his hat. And it goes on there, and it stays on pretty well unless you like bump it real hard or anything, or he falls down. But for the most part, it stays on there pretty well. That, my friends, is a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Recondo with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Duke and the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Scarlet. Here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Recondo with the Valaverse Action Force Swarm Trooper with Swarm Gear and the Valaverse Action Force Scarab. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Recondo with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. Our final G.I. Joe Classified comparison, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander from Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified series, retro-carded Recondo, I have to say I'm glad that I passed up on the Tiger Force one. Tiger Force was kind of outside my experience with Real American Hero. And in fact, the only Tiger Force figure that I was interested in the classified line was Outback. And, you know, I did do a review on him and the classic one as well. So, there is that. So, I'm glad I passed on that and went for this one. Although, there's nothing wrong with that one. He looks okay. It's just, when I think of Recondo, this is what my mind pulls up. This specific colors. And now I do wish that he had come with a machete instead of the kukri knife, but we'll see. I may have an Action Force machete he can use if, you know, I need to take pictures of him in the jungle chopping stuff up or whatever. And by stuff I mean foliage, not other things. But, you know, I really, really like the classic look that this figure brings. And even though I know it's probably 100% reuse of the Tiger Force Recondo, just the different colors on it, to me, makes all the difference in the world. Your mileage, of course, may vary. You may have grown up at a time when Tiger Force is your Recondo of choice rather than the original release of the figure. The butterfly joints in the shoulders, I do wish got a little bit better range of motion, and you know, that's really my only complaints about it. Now, I'm not a big fan of that floating shirt bottom. I understand why they use that. I'm just not a big fan of it. It sometimes is a big PITA, and you should be able to figure out what that means if you don't already know. So, but overall, this is a great figure, and if you are a fan of that classic look for Recondo from A Real American Hero, then, you know, you collect classified, this is a pickup. Definitely do not pass on this one. Again, if you're a Recondo fan, the original of the original Recondo. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.